The Wheat School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Bayer Crop Science and C&M Seeds.
I'm Amber Bell, and this is Real Agriculture, here today for an episode of Wheat School with Dr. Kelly Turkington of Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada. We're going to be talking about ergot in wheat. So welcome, Dr. Turkington. It's great to see you.
Great to see you, Amber. Yep.
Okay, so is ergot in wheat an issue? Let's start off with that big question.
I think the challenge is that it's an issue that comes and goes, and it depends on the particular summer and weather conditions, especially just prior to head emergence and then right after head emergence. And if you have the right conditions that favor the fungus, there is a potential to have ergot issues. So some years, and it may go several years, where there's really no problem, and then we get a set of weather conditions that favor ergot and germination of the sclerotia that the ergot fungus uses to survive from one year to another, and it produces what we call these drumstick-like structures where the spores are produced out of. So you have to have the conditions that favor germination of the sclerotia, production of those fruiting bodies, release of spores, and then conditions that allow those spores to germinate and infect that cereal floret.
What are some management techniques around ergot?
So first of all, to recognize that you have an issue. So ergot, you typically wouldn't see signs of it until well into the latter part of July and early August, when you start to see those ergot bodies on that wheat head, that barley head, or more so on rye or triticale, both spring and winter types. And so that you know you have a problem. And so if it's in the current growing season, sometimes what happens is the ergot will affect adjacent ditches and things like brome grass or other tame and wild grass species. And that actually is sometimes where the ergot inoculum comes from. So you can start to look at taking steps. So during harvest, what you might find is the headlands of the field tend to be more affected. So you might want to harvest that area separately, bin the rest of the field that's less affected, so less grade reduction. And then that affected area, if you're looking at marketing that grain, you can have it cleaned, either gravity table, spiral cleaner, or more and more the color sorters, and that would remove the ergot from that grain. There's a cost, of course, so you'd have to look at the cost benefit of that. The other thing with the grassy areas is if you can cut them before they have a chance to set seed, then you interrupt that life cycle of that ergot fungus, so you don't get production of sclerotia, which then can fall down and overwinter on the surface of the soil and then act as a source of disease. Now, if you're looking at planning for future years, it's been a difficult challenge in terms of developing resistant varieties. There seems to be maybe some subtle differences, but there's some efforts related to improving varieties much less susceptible in terms of rye and triticale, and certainly in wheat. But there's no information in the variety guides for ergot, so that's a bit of a challenge. One thing that we found in some of the research here with hybrid rye is seeding rate is very important, and often it's the secondary tillers that tend to get more affected. So don't cut your seeding rates. Try to maintain them at a higher level, maybe that 2.5, 3 bushel per acre, depending on what cereal you're dealing with, or 300 seeds per meter squared or more. That'll help to reduce the amount of secondary tillering. That's important. The other thing is fertility, and if you're deficient in things like copper and boron, and truly deficient, adding copper or boron fertilizer will help. And what happens with the copper and boron is they have an impact on pollen viability. And if you have deficiency, the pollen is no longer viable. And as a consequence, it sends a signal to that cereal plant to open its florets. So in rye and triticale, they're already very much open pollinated, and those are the crops most commonly associated with ergot. but you can't see it in wheat and barley. But wheat and barley, the florets are more closed and self-pollinating. But if you have that copper deficiency or boron deficiency and pollen viability issues, that barley or wheat floret will open up to try and capture pollen that's floating around in the air, but it also exposes that floret to ergot ascospores. So that's important. Other things, sometimes things that you can't control, you might have a very severe weather event just as the crop is coming up or the head is emerging out of the boot, and that can cause some issues with pollen viability, which may increase your risk.
Now, if a grower is seeing ergot this year, is there a concern for next year?
Yes, and in that field, or if, what's happening in those adjacent grassy areas. So the traditional school of thought was that a single year of a non-host crop, so not a cereal, was sufficient for those sclerotia to decompose. I don't think that's long enough. You need probably at least 2 full years of a non-host crop. Make sure you control the volunteers, and then keep an eye on those adjacent grassy areas. And if you see a lot of ergot, you want to maybe try and cut that if it's possible prior to it setting seed, so you don't get extensive sclerotial development and then a source of disease for the next growing season. The one other quick comment would be, recently in the last 4 to 5 years, some fungicide products have added ergot suppression to the label, and they can help. But again, if you've got variable crop development in the field, tillering and so on, you may hit the main stem heads perhaps at the right time, and it'll help to lower the risk, but you may not protect those other heads that haven't emerged yet. So that's another part of the toolbox. Don't expect high levels of control. It's suppression. It lowers the amount of ergot typically.
Great, well, thank you so much. And that was Dr. Kelly Turkington on Real Agriculture.
Thank you.